Hey everybody, just giving myself an opportunity to check to test out this microphone cable. The mics work, but this cable I've had issues with, so I bought a new cable. Um, I was just thinking, I always get these random spurts of motivation slash frustration slash resistance slash like feeling good and then feeling bad. I get this like flush of emotions, and then I want to record, and then I start recording and I don't know what the hell I'm going to say in the recording. um, but I was just thinking, I might as well record this because there's this thing. I think it's in all of us that, looking over here, the camera's here. It's, you can call it the devil, you can call it um, evil, or just straight up bad intentions, or like the underlying self pity within you. But I've been recognizing this thing, and I've been treating it like an external source lately. Like lately, I'm telling myself that all the times that I read a comment, or that I feel insecure, or that I feel judged, or anything like that, anything that brings out that negativity within myself and causes that negative self-talk, I I've been treating that as like that's something else, because I saw this video that talked about the Gnostics and ancient Christian texts and Egyptian texts that describe something beyond this reality, and this thing is pretty much, I don't know how to describe it. It was essentially saying that reincarnation exists um, because this thing that controls us, whatever our soul is, there's something beyond it that is controlling us and putting us in these repeating life cycles, and it's causing us to go in this realm where we suffer and we become attached to things, and because of this attachment we suffer. And it's kind of like that Buddhist perspective, but anyway, it's saying basically that to take control of your own life, you have to realize that this is a cycle of suffering that these entities want you to exist in. And while I don't know if I believe that totally, I do believe in reincarnation. That's why I post so much about it. I don't believe in labeling what I believe, but I think that there's evidence throughout history, throughout religions, throughout lived experiences, especially given all the comments that I've been receiving on my Facebook posts, on these reincarnation videos, on these near death experience videos. I believe that there's something beyond this reality that we can't perceive, and that we will never truly know what it is until we move on to the next stage of whatever process our soul is in. That's what I believe. I don't like to label it. Um, but where was I going with this? Yeah, so this video is talking about these, like, this entity called the demiurge, which is essentially, from what I understood, it controls you in every time you have those moments, that feeling of insecurity, or you're doom scrolling on whatever platform, you're interacting with somebody, and you choose to take something they say personally, or you wake up and you have that negative self-talk, or even in the times where you find resistance in doing things that you should do, whether it be working out, or making the right choice and eating a banana instead of chips, or um, doing things that you have to do when you said you were going to do them. Every time you resist, every time you move in the opposite direction. I have this thing, I just erased it on the whiteboard. It's like a little, it's like an odometer. Is that what you call it? The little thing in your car that goes like that. And it's like a meter that I put on our daily whiteboard, and it's for us as a couple. And it says, like, I usually tick it toward the green if we're doing everything that we should be doing, or I tick it toward the red if we're like screwing off, or if we didn't do something. Like, the more that we don't do the things we know we're supposed to do, or that we said we were going to do, it moves toward the yellow, like on a daily basis. I've had it on the whiteboard. I haven't paid attention to it, to be honest, in a while, but I erased it so I could redraw it, and we'll get back to it. But that is to keep it in the forefront of my mind, of like you should be doing the things you need to be doing. And lately I've been treating it as a separate entity. Like, what if that was real? This thing beyond this realm that is essentially controlling you, stopping you from being everything that you could be by distracting you like that. And this video said that once you start realizing, you start seeing past this illusion of reality, like this, it's an illusion that we can't control our own realities, right? And it's saying that once you start to realize this, not only will you start to see more synchronicities happen, more like deja vus, more of those types of things that kind of point you in this direction of becoming, the more you'll also see these distractions pop up and these little things that start to nag at you, because those are the demiurge trying to maintain control by having you be afraid, whether it's like being afraid at your financial situation, being annoyed at a comment so much so that it like grabs you and hooks you, annoyed at something somebody said, taking something personally, choosing to do the things, like I said, you're not supposed to be doing instead of doing the things you should be doing. And I feel like whatever you label that, man, that's like a real thing. Because the second I watched this video, right, and I really took it and I really internalized it. And the past few days I've just been thinking of reality that way. And I also listened to Thomas Campbell on Joe Rogan, and the things he was saying, at first that I was like pretty cool. I was like, this is a cool episode, and it opened my mind. And I shared it with my lady, and she was like laughing at it, because she was saying that basically he lost her halfway through, because he doesn't really explain it in the way that, like, for example, this video explained it. He's explaining it in a very constrained manner, and basically he's saying we live in a simulation that we can control, and the way you can control a lucid dream is essentially the same way you can control reality. At least that's what I got from it. And I listened to it again for a third time, and after listening to this other video and listening to Thomas Campbell, it really started to make me think, what if this is the case? So I've been thinking of reality that way, and the second that I started thinking of that, not only did I start noticing bizarre synchronicities. We have this turtle, this is just one example. We have this turtle, Sweet Tea is her name. Unfortunately, she died recently. She stopped eating and she burrowed, and she died in her burrow. And we were putting it off for a little while because we kind of knew that she was dead and she hadn't come up for a while. And the other day we took her out and we buried her. And it sucked and it was a bummer, but I knew we had to do it, and we were putting it off for a little bit. And then that night we're walking to the mailbox, and on the mailbox there's this big sticker, and it's a little cartoon turtle, right? And that's crazy. And you can say like, oh, it's just a sticker of a turtle. Like, what's the coincidence? Well, this turtle had a thing of ice cream on its head with a strawberry, or with a cherry on top. Like, I was like, oh shit, Sweet Tea, I'm like, what? And so these synchronicities start happening, small things, and I start noticing more opportunities to subvert whatever evil, whatever devil, whatever demiurge, call it whatever, to subvert that thing from taking control of me. And the more I did that in the past 2-3 days, I start noticing these things, man, that pop up, and it's like this thing that wants me to react to it, whether it be, it's so crazy, man. Like, it started happening immediately. Yesterday, somebody sent me a message that kind of annoyed me, and I was like, and I wanted to act really annoyed, and I wanted to respond to them like all annoyed. But instead I was like, okay, I can do one of three things. I can respond annoyed immediately with my emotion, which is what they want, right? Is what the dark side of you, if you will, wants, the lacking side. I can do that, or I can respond not at all, or I can take the time, which so this is like ticks on the meter, right? So one in the red is responding with emotion, angry and annoyed. The second is not respond at all and ignore it. which is better. And then the third is like, okay, what if I can take this as an opportunity? Not that it was important that I responded, but take this as an opportunity to gather my thoughts, tell them, research and affirm what I was thinking was correct, and explain to them, hey, I get your point. Thank you for reaching out and me about this, because their intent wasn't negative. They were just trying to help, but they really annoyed me. And so I was like, okay, let me take the time to respond to this person in a measured manner. And I did that, and it was a sigh of relief knowing that I didn't have to just ignore the message. I could have done that, but I would have still had that tiny little bit of anxiety. So instead, I took control of the situation and I extinguished that little disturbance. And I'll tell you, man, since I did that, since I started looking at life this way, little things just keep popping up, and it makes me think, like, what if this really is the way reality works? That's all I have to say. I don't know anything. None of us have the answers. That's the simple truth. The simple truth is that we don't know, and we look to things like religion and history, and I look to things like real life experiences that I hear from people on a daily basis. Hundreds of comments on my Facebook posts about their near-death experiences, about their past life memories, about their paranormal and bizarre things that they've experienced, including one that my girlfriend experienced recently that is the most chilling thing that I've ever heard. It's one of a handful of things that I've heard that genuinely made my hair stand on end. I don't know where I was going with that, but that's all I wanted to say. Testing out this mic. If you're following me on my main channel, Ghost Toast, I've slowed down on content recently. That's because I'm really trying to figure out I figured out the Facebook thing and the Instagram thing. Now I have to figure out how to get my stuff to get momentum on TikTok and YouTube. So that's what I'll be doing in the coming days, in the next few days of July. That's where my focus is going to be at. Probably like every other day, posting a video, high quality video that I think has potential to reach people and spread awareness about the nature of reality is not what it seems. And that's that's something that I believe truly. I can't define it, but that's what I believe. Another thing I was doing in this video, damn, this is a long ass video. I'm trying to practice talking because I realize that I mumble so much in my daily life, and in contrast to my videos, when I speak very clearly, like my spooky videos, this is like a in between where I can talk conversationally and try to make sure that I'm pronouncing things. Hopefully I have been. I tend to mumble in these videos too. And then another thing is I wanted to do this video so that I can actually practice thinking out loud and talking out loud, because recently I heard that people who use ChatGPT a lot, like their cognitive abilities are diminished, and I can feel that. I didn't even have to read that. I could feel that. I could just feel it in my daily life. Like the way that I think, I often think like, do I even think this? Like, am I even trying to think? Am I even trying to come to what I feel about the situation, or am I going to directly to ChatGPT or to Grok or to Google's AI, and am I trying to I'm being really careful lately how I use those tools, and I'm trying to use them in a way that gives me an advantage intellectually without stifling my ability to think and process and come up with my own opinions about things. So that's what this video served for. That's what I was trying to do with this video as well. So that's it. That's the update, I guess, kind of update. I don't know what these videos are. Don't really know what this channel is, but you guys get to see a different side of me, and you guys get to see the real me. And that's it. Lates.